Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to another of Petey and the Gang. In this episode, we're going to talk about, yes, the London Northeastern Railway Class A1s and A3s. Yes, Gresley's masterpiece. And yes, just waiting for the others to come here. And yes, and yes. Hey, Alfred. Yes, you're coming here just in time. Hello, Alfred.
Hello, Petey. Or should
Today
I
we're
say?
gonna talk. Yeah,
Or should I
we're
say?
talking about yeah
Oh,
the
yeah,
LNER A1s and A3s. We're talking about.
yours. Also,
Yes,
Petey, more like PT Boomer.
yes, and this is the A3, and this is we're gonna talk about. And yes, and this we're gonna talk about, which is today the most famous steam locomotive in the world, the Floyd Scotsman.
Yes,
Yeah, Presley's masterpiece, so famous. And yes, right. But you'd know this about this engines. Production started in 1922, where the Great
ye-
Northern Railway has been merged with LNER. And yes, so in 1923, Flying Scotsman was being built to be the first LNER Pacific to come.
well, it was actually Great Northern the first.
Yeah, Great Northern first one. Yes. It was being come to the British Empire exhibition in Wembley in 1924. And this is a preparation for Scotsman. And this is a British Empire exhibition in Wembley.
And soon, over time, she was then named after a service, well,
Yeah.
called the Flying Scotsman.
Yeah. A total of 78 were built between 1922 and 1935,
Wow.
alongside the A3s. Yes. And plus, also, it wasn't the only A3 at the Empire exhibition at Wembley. Alongside it is number 4073 Carefully Castle. Yeah. And later that same year, so in 1925, so the Great Western decided to replace Carefully Castle with Pendennis Castle. And so LNER sent 4475 Victor Wild. Uh, there it is. As you can see there, Victor Wild and Pendennis Castle right here.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't know about the differences about the A1s and A3s, you know? Well,
Yeah, they have there are a lot more. Well, they don't have the banjo dome. Well,
yeah,
they don't have the much longer dome, and they don't have the corridor tender yet.
yes. But this you don't think about it because this engine has a four pilot wheels at the front, a six driving wheels at the front, and two training wheels up on the footplate. And
You think?
and this is a longest one has a at the right side of the driver's view was the A3s has some left side of the view just like it does today.
The performance figures. They have attractive as built. The A1s have attractive effort of 29,835, while the A3s have a traction of 32,910.
Yes, that's right. But also has a and also it wasn't the only one that the engines had made. It's the greatest services.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
Flying
yeah,
Scotsman.
yes. Yeah. On May the 1st, 1928, Flying Scotsman already made a very big history. He
He
made a
was a very
very first non-stop from London to Edinburgh and then back again.
reaching the speed of 100 miles per hour.
But no, not yet. It's just 1928. And so, to use that, the engines needed some corridor tenders, as you can see there.
Yes.
Yes. So the crew can go back to the fruit plate. And also, they used some water trough upon the tender to scoop the water onto the tender.
That way, when they had to switch crew, they don't have to stop at they don't have to stop at a station. The exchanging crew is already in the train. You just go through the tender and into the train,
That's
and then they'll
exactly.
take over. And the
Yes,
windy
so
is
they
here.
go, Windy Boy!
Hello!
Yeah,
Hello.
Hello, Petey, Alfred. How you two doing?
very
I'm,
good. We're going to talk about the LNER A1s and A3s.
and I'm suffering in the summer.
That sounds good. I mean,
Yes,
I'm suffering.
I like me some A3s.
and so, but also, the train can use, but also it uses it was the very first one who can, but also the speed limits is the usage that can also, yes, the greatest one. And so yes, but,
Right.
on November 30th, 1934, Flying Scotsman made history.
The
When
engine
local
managed
driver
to
Bill
reach 100
Sparshot
miles
at
an
the
hour.
regulator, Flying Scotsman made history, which is reach 100 miles an hour, which
This
is
was a
the
record
first
that she would.
engine to reach 100 miles an hour.
The engine would basically
Wow.
hold that record for the rest of her days until she was sadly retired in 1963. Although when
Yeah,
the
yeah,
war
yeah. We're gonna
started,
talk about that later. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that later ourselves. You
Alright.
know.
yeah, all right.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna talk about
Carry on.
ourselves later ourselves. You know. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna talk about ourselves later ourselves. Yeah, yeah.
So for the
But
number of men,
so the
for the
Flying Scotsman isn't the only one engine to reach 100.
That is true.
You know, A32755 Papyrus, who made an experimental
Science.
high-speed test run from London to
Sans,
Newcastle and back again, with again Bill
Sans.
Sparshot as the regulator to reach the Newcastle back, and include an average who had reached 147 kilometers an hour, which is the highest speed of 108 miles an hour,
It was actually
which was recorded
105.
at Stork Banks near Leviathan, and these two runs were received as a very huge win for the LNER and kicks the 1930s in a big way. It will help with research and developments of a new streamlined express passenger locomotive, the Gresley A4. But we're going to talk
Yes.
about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about them in another live stream.
Oh,
I think
no,
I could. I
Petey,
think.
again, no.
Oh, JJ, I haven't seen you in a wee while. How are you doing?
Making YouTube videos, minding my own business.
Yeah, we're talking about. We're gonna talk about
I know
the
that,
LNER
I know.
and A.
It's alright.
Yeah.
You good?
Even though about these experimental test runs about this one, in 1927, the LNER had installed the A1s and A3s to use some of these experimental high-speed test runs. The Fox to use this one. So the LNER had decided to use the improvements of these experimental engines. The engines 2751 Humorous and the other A1 Conroach had used some of the experimental users. And so the experiments have some carry out, but didn't approve well, I think. I don't know.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah. Petey, look at my profile picture.
Hey, that's offensive. That's offensive. That's offensive. That's offensive. That's offensive. Offensive. Man,
Petey,
Dude?
that's a,
God. That's a joke.
I guess I can try my best to explain the history of like the
So,
rest of Scotsman's
anyway.
history. Is it alright if I could explain the rest?
So, anyways, just like the eighth priest, the threat of World War II had broke out.
Yes, and Scotsman was like most of like the
Sorry?
LNER threes. Like Scotsman was painted black with the number 103. Now that 103 would be like thing for her will be our number. Like World War II soon ended and nationalization soon came around in 1948. She was painted in BR blue at one point. And Flying Scotsman
Yeah.
in the into the 1950s up to the early 1960s, she was painted in her BR green livery, and
Mario
she
spotted his foot.
and she ran for the LNER until 1963 when she was unfortunately retired. You can explain the rest, Petey, if you want to.
Yes, and also, yeah, but yes, also into the Nationalization Act, the engines made the greatest runs about these engines, and so the engines made a very good test runs, and so including the LNER, the BR, including they very good at engine running itself. But unfortunately for these engines, the end came sooner than expected.
Pretty much all of the A3s were scrapped in the early 1960s.
The first engine that we were drawn is number 6. It's number the engine.
Hey, who's playing copyrighted audio?
4, which was destroyed in an accident by
Petey,
Castle
someone's
Barry
playing
accident.
copyrighted audio.
No, it's Kevin McClure. It's not copyrighted. And so,
Look at this
number
profile
447 Earl Great Northern was turned itself into a Thompson A1/1.
Darn you, Thompson!
Yeah. And so, the rest of the A3s were all scrapped when number 60052 Prince Palatine took the last train
Prince
all
Palatine.
around to Edinburgh to Aberdeen.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately,
surely
most of the
end
LNER
was
A3s
Most of the A3s were all, well, withdrawn
they
and
were all
scrapped.
withdrawn.
all of them are all gone. One except one. And you can guess who was the engine was.
Flying Scotsman, I already know.
It is, of
Yeah,
course, the Flying Scotsman, number
Also,
4472
Petey, look at my
itself.
profile picture.
Yeah, whatever. Looks scary. Well, quite horrified.
Yeah, I know, it looks scary.
Right.
But
Yeah.
but in the 60s, someone had managed to save the Flying Scotsman.
And that
man was
none
Alan
other.
Pegler.
Alan Pegler, yes. Alan Pegler saved the Flying Scotsman from scrap in 1966. The locomotive was restored into operating condition and was painted back into her, and she was restored to her former glory. And so, she basically ran rail tours and such throughout the late 1960s until 1969, when she went off to America.
Wait, can I take over from here?
Of course, you know more about Flying Scotsman's USA tour than me.
So, in 1969, Alan Pegler decided to commit the most craziest idea the world had ever seen, taking the Flying Scotsman on its first worldwide tour. He thought of the United States was a good idea, and so in the same year, the Flying Scotsman was shipped all the way up into the United States along with its consist. However, when he arrived in the States, there was several changes they had to do to him, such as giving him some stuff that.
No, Flying Scotsman is a man. Flying
Can I shut up?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Okay, go on.
As I was saying before, JJ rudely interrupted me. pointlessly. He was given several. He was given several other features, such
Such
as
as an
a cow
American headlight and a bell, as well as a cowcatcher.
and a Buckeye coupler,
hmm
and a
Knuckle
different
couplers
as
are
well.
basically couplings, and well, you know.
Yeah, but until 1972 was swiftly changes to William McAlpine.
Flying
Yeah,
Scotsman.
after Alan Pegler's
Hitler was going
wallet had
bankrupt.
basically
It was sold to William
went bye
McAlpine.
bye. He managed to save Scotsmen as well as some of the consist that were remaining in the states, while some of them were
Yeah,
mostly scrapped. Some was saved.
Right. So, Flying Scotsman was coming home, and in round about 1972, the locomotive touched British rails for the first time in about 2 or 3 years. And she basically continued running for that long time, and until 1989, when she decided to go down under. And
in
she went all
Australia.
the way off to Australia, and she did one of the longest runs a steam train had ever gone. And she also met up with another engine, Great Western Railway Castle class number
Pendennis
number
Castle. We're going to talk about
4079.
that later. We know about it before.
Yeah, Pendennis Castle.
Yeah,
And
Although,
complete with
although
flying
Wendy,
fox later.
although originally Mallard was meant to go in Australia, but
well,
because
Mallard was
he was
unavailable.
but due to the but he wasn't available as he was celebrating his 50th anniversary when he broke the record in 1935.
Well, that's
From
not
1938.
Well, 38, yeah. So
Yeah.
they decided to send Scotsman on its second worldwide tour, and yeah, he met several other engines, including Australia 3801.
which is a huge streamlined engine that looks like a New Haven
Yeah,
i5.
this is Flying Fox, and this is Pendennis Castle.
Yeah,
Wow.
4079, I was right.
Yeah. Yes, and also yes.
Allow me to continue.
Oh, wait a second. Hello there,
Hey,
Ricardo.
Ricardo!
Hello.
It's the
Let's
E-Ray.
see.
It's the
It's a
E-Ray
flying
baby.
Scotland. Hello.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, there, Ricardo.
or me.
The A freeze. And so, anyway,
Oh, wait a second.
Flying Scotsman isn't the only one on the rail tours. Before Alan Pegler went bankrupt, he made in 1968, on the 1st of May in 1968, he made an anniversary of the first non-stop run from London to Edinburgh.
And Edinburgh is where I'm from.
And look, this is they recreated in 1968. How would it first run?
Just, yeah.
Hey, Ricardo.
And yeah,
Aren't you the... Hey, Ricardo, you there?
Yeah.
Aren't you that guy who shipped himself with the American train?
Wait,
You know,
would you
the
be
311?
quiet? We're watching a movie.
Wait, what? Wait,
Yeah.
what? I'm sorry.
You know what I'm leaving. It's so rude here.
Wait, what?
Well, he's not in a good mood today, is he?
Did I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
Ricardo?
What? No, wait. Did I say something?
Yes, Ricardo, go ahead.
No, I mean, did I say something? Not.
Yes, you did.
Oh, sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Right. I would also like to explain the
Sorry.
rest of Flying Scotsman's history.
Yeah, and so years later, in the 1990s, he was painted again into a great green livery.
The British Railways Brunswick Green.
Yes.
BR Green. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So in the early 2000s, Flying Scotsman is
She was
being
painted back
purchased
in
by a
green.
national collection. The
Yes, she
National
was.
Railway
And
Museum in York.
I got
Yep,
and another wee thing.
where the locomotive is currently there to this day.
Well, she's still owned by it, but I'll explain that later. So, Flying Scotsman was restored to service and was also bought by the NRM, and she was also painted back into her LNER apple green livery, although there were a few changes.
Just like
And
giving
so,
those German smoke reflectors
and
that
she
the
was
German
given
locomotives have
a South African chime whistle.
for some reason.
Yes, which is a bit odd. And so Flying Scotsman basically ran until round about 2006, when she was retired once again, and she was
Hey, that's when I was born.
painted into her hideous wartime black livery with the numbers 103 and 502 on her side. But this is where it starts getting good. In round about
Yes.
the mid 2000s, Flying Scotsman was restored once again, and she did some test runs on the Cecil to Carlisle route, still in her wartime black livery, and she was given back her smoke deflectors and her bell whistle, although her bell whistle sounded like crap. So, later, Flying Scotsman was painted back into BR green, probably her best BR green livery. I still prefer her apple green. And Flying Scotsman did a run from London King's Cross to York Station. She sat in the NRM for a wee bit until she was actually so she actually ran for a wee while up until 2022, which is now. And as of right now, she's currently going under a small overhaul. And let's pray she'll emerge from the works looking like her old LNER paint scheme and such. And
Yeah,
that's the
Petey.
history of the Flying Scotsman.
Yes.
Although during its restoration, the only times the Flying Scotsman actually got its restorations were only, well, currently 3 at the moment. Those being in 1968, in 1996, and in 2016.
Yeah, she's currently going under a small overhaul as of right now. Her bell whistle is actually beginning to sound like her bell whistle when it used to sound like back in the 1960s. And she is going under an overhaul, and I am hoping she will emerge from the works looking all good. Because I certainly don't like the paint scheme they recently gave Sir Nigel Gressley. Blech!
Yes.
Ew.
But let's not
Yes.
talk about her.
However, the
Yes.
Flying Scotsman, not to mention, the Flying Scotsman is also featured in the Railway series by the Reverend Wilbur Tawdry.
And
As
the
in the
Great
books,
Race.
in the book Enterprising Engine, published in 1968, I think, where she was
Yes.
basically featured in a few illustrations of Tenders for Henry, and she was also meant to be appear in the third, in the season 3 adaptation of the show.
Sorry.
Although changed the title to Tender Engines, only Flying Scotsman's 2 tenders were outside the shed. But due to budget, they couldn't make another model, so they only have enough budget to make only the 2 tenders. And he eventually returned in 2016 in the 2016 movie The Great Race, and he appeared a few times in the next few seasons of Thomas. And thank God he's not in All Engines Go. Otherwise, I'll probably smack myself in the face with a frying pan.
Yep, I'm glad too. I'm glad. I'm glad as hell.
And besides,
Yes.
Mattel will probably say it's unmarketable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
But also,
Oh,
and also, Flying Scotsman, it wasn't only in a rail tour by itself. He also pulled the Venison Blonde Orient Express Company around London, Victoria. See here in the south of England.
and there she is.
You mean he?
I'm hoping
Yeah.
Scotsman will emerge from the works looking like that.
Yeah.
Meow.
I wish I could see the Flying Scotsman in real life.
Yeah.
I would wish to see the Flying Scotsman in real life, but I'm stuck in this fucking state, in this fucking
Also,
country.
I would like to tell a wee story of my own about the Flying Scotsman. So, this was when I saw the Scotsman herself back in 2017.
Petey.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, I want to see that. Okay,
Right,
okay, okay,
so-
okay, okay. Yes.
This was my
Oh
only
yes,
story.
I want to see
when I
that.
first- When I first saw Scotsman back in 2017. Now, I was waiting at Edinburgh Waverley Station with my mum to wait for the famous engine herself to come in. And sure enough, we saw a huge cloud of steam and Scotsman came into view. She had a big green headboard that read the Cathedral Express. Now, that was definitely an image to behold. And I actually heard Scotsman's whistle for the first time. And I was a bit disappointed, but it was very, very loud. I think I actually remember making a joke like the whistle kind of sounded like an old tea kettle and such. I actually have a photo of me with Scotsman, so if I can just get it, found it. Look at this.
You
Oh,
lucky
that's
kid.
you!
That's 9-year-old me.
Wow. I really wish I would go to England to see the famous engine. But I fucking can't!
Jesus Christ, calm down.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're the one who wanna talk, Ricardo.
Yeah.
You're the one who keeps always ear-raping everyone
Yeah.
for no reason.
Oi!
Or should I say, King of Pingus?
No,
Pingus.
you're the king of Pingus.
So yeah, what does everyone
Yes.
think of that?
Yes.
That has to be the most satisfying moment of your life.
Yeah, Scotsman,
I
Scotsman
wish I
is
was-
just the best.
I wish I was there.
But the engine doesn't go. But Brian Scotsman himself is not the only gun to itself. He went to the preserve lines.
Yeah, what?
He did what?
He went to the preserve lines, like the Severn Valley Railway.
Yeah, she also went to the Mid-Hants Railway.
Didn't the Flying Scotsman even went to the West Somerset Railway at one point?
Really?
Oh, Scotsman.
And this is the engine. Went to the Bluebell.
Yep, that's Scotsman.
Oh my fucking god. And look at this. It's a tiny Flying Scotsman next to the big one.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Typhoon. That's Typhoon
oh,
from the
look,
Romney Heights
wait.
Dymchurch Railway in Kent, England.
Wait.
Yes?
That's Flying Scotsman's son. That's his
Tiny
son.
Scotsman.
That's his son.
Small, teeny weeny.
That's Flying
And the
Scotsman.
engine was basically well
Yeah,
based
that's
on
Typhoon.
the DA1s. At one time,
Yes.
even Sir Nigel Gresley
Yeah.
was showing on the tender of the same engine one time in 1923.
Exactly. Well, I think,
Yeah. But the engine wasn't becomes a movie star in the 1920s, but it appeared
guys. Sorry to say this, but I'm afraid I have to head out now because I am going to be having lunch at McDonald's.
Okay. Which
Right.
means I'm going to end it right now. All right. So next week on my gang. So we're gonna talk about. Oh yes, that's the right.
Can
Some
we?
of these-
Can I
Some of
propose?
these rivalries of the LNER A3, the Princess Royals.
PT,
Yes.
could I
Yes.
propose something for next time?
Yep.
I wonder if we're gonna talk about the London Northeastern B16s.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about another one. But first, we're going to talk about ourselves. Is the rivalries against the A3s, the Princess Royals.
Aren't those LMS engines?
Yeah. Yes. Hey Diego, what's up?
Hey, Petey, what's up, man? Hey, Petey.
Yeah.
You just
We're gonna-
you
we
just
have
this
to
is the end
talk
of the
about
stream.
A3.
Hey, Petey, I want to show you, y'all something. Me and Alfred were watching George Carlin dubbing Thomas the Tank Engine.
There were a couple of things that were kind of stupid, but
Yeah.
PT. Can I discuss
yes,
a little
yes,
bit
go ahead.
about? Can I talk about a bit
Yeah, go ahead.
about your series? Like,
Yes, my serious, yes.
like, why the heck are Small Fry and the Red Moron of 2006 are in this series?
Look,
Why
hold
the heck?
on.
What
Look,
the heck are those idiots doing there?
Look.
Can you believe it's Christmas again? Said Sir Topham Hatt. Holy Christ, the Christmas
Wait,
tree.
that's copyrighted.
No, it's George Carlin.
It can't get copyrighted.
Sir Handel was hoping for a
Wait, Petey, I have a question.
Grow up, motherfucker. Let's
Wait, can I
You
say
are on the
something?
rails.
Wait, can you pause the video, Diego? Wait.
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know when I wash my
Diego, can you
hands?
pause the video,
When I
please?
shit on them.
Diego, wait, can you pause the video?
Watch this.
It's a minor risk.
The rest.
Can I? Wait,
Take
I need
a
to say
fucking
something.
chance. Bunch of fucking idiots.
I need to say something.
I'm sorry about your accident.
Diego, pause it. Pause.
Watch it.
Wait, Petey, why are why are 2006 and Small Fry in your series?
PT,
You know what I say to bullies?
fuck you.
Wait, is Petey there?
Diego, could you pause it again?
Wait, is Petey
PT.
there?
PT Boomer.
Petey?
PT Boomer.
Yes, I see. Yeah, just one more thing that I made for you. That Windy Boy had made for you, Diego. It's just your faces that I get it from scratch.
I know.
Oh yeah, that's what he has
I
in his
know.
profile.
I know.
And PT.
Yes,
Can
but
I
have you never
ask you
seen
a-
about my
Look.
faces that I found from
Look.
scratch?
Diego,
Look, Alfred.
oh, for God's sakes. Can Alfred ask his question?
James's driver and
Oh,
fireman
God.
were feeling him all over.
Oh my god, not this.
Help, mommy! The man is touching me like Daddy does at home.
And this one.
Don't recall seeing you before. What brings you this way? I want to see a paint factory blowing up, an oil refinery explode, and a tornado
A
hit
tornado hitting a church on a Sunday.
Can Alfred ask his question, please?
PT, can I talk to you? Diego, can you
Yeah?
pause this shit for a second? I need to talk to PT for a second.
All right.
PT?
PT
Petey?
Boomer.
PT, where the hell are you?
That shit dirty old twat. 69.
Oh my god, I said stop.
Okay, sir. The other engine's left. Sir Handel sang songs.
Engines laughed, and Sir Handel sang a song about it. Ratchet.
Ratchet, batshit, dirty old twat. 69 assholes tied in a knot. Hooray! Lizard shit.
Wait,
Fuck.
wait,
Oh, guys.
Diego, can you pause?
Oh, finally, PT. PT.
Petey Theodore Boomer.
PD.
Petey?
Wait,
PT.
Finally arrived. Sir Topham Hatt proudly
I'm gonna
presented.
show you guys. All right. So,
PT.
all right, guys. So,
Yeah, this is all the stuff Wendy did. Also, PT, can I ask you something?
all right. So, wait.
PT.
Wait, Petey. Wait. Petey? Petey.
PT.
All right.
Petey.
There it is. My bases.
PT.
Oh wait. Just look. That's my bases you're gonna talk about, guys. And look at my bases. Yeah. Look.
PT, can I talk? Can I have a word with you?
Take a long time, but you know what?
Wait, Petey.
You know what? I will
Petey.
send you a link because
Wait,
this thing takes a long time, but
Wait,
because
can
it's too slow. But anyways, I think I'm gonna end this stream, guys.
Wait,
Thanks for watching,
Alfred
guys.
ask his
Be sure to
question?
comment,
Wait,
rate,
wait.
like,
PT.
share, and
Wait.
subscribe.
Yeah.
remember,
Petey, for God's sake,
keep on
listen to
singing, my
us.
friends.
Bye.
Petey.
Keep on singing, guys.
Pete.
Right. Keep on singing. All right.
Petey. Petey, boomer. Petey. Petey.
Yes. Sorry. What is it?
Can I talk about your series?
Oh, yes.
Can you please do a few changes, such as
Yeah.
giving me the whistle I have now instead of the
Oh,
Scarlet
yes.
whistle?
I can give you a whistle. I can give you a good whistle. Yes. I can change that. Yes.
Wait, also,
And
what?
another thing that Ricardo and I also wanted. Can you please get rid of Alex Gunner and trade for 2006 in your
Yes,
series?
please.
They're
Okay, I'll do
pointless,
it.
stupid,
Guys,
and quite frankly, 2006 doesn't even talk. So what's the point in
Wait,
putting
I'm,
this
wait,
moron in the
guys, I'm going
series?
to wait.
I
Guys,
know, right?
wait, guys.
Yeah,
Before you go, I'm going
yes.
to mark train. I'm going to mark train fan. All right.
All right. So,
Wait,
right.
guys. Wait. Before we go, wait, Alfred. I'm going to mark train fan.
No,
All
why
right.
just join the stream? You don't have to end it.
Oh, yes. But a nice
Hey,
pull.
Alfred, are you there?
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm here.
Yes. Plus, before we end this stream, guys,
I'm going.
something.
Wait, I'm going to mark. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, yes.
Can
Yes, I had Donovan
I
the
need-
GS6 in my series because he's a GS6, aka Forgotten Daylights. But we're gonna talk about that later in my episodes.
Yeah, but I think I should also do some of my lines too, instead of you doing my lines. You know
Oh
what's-
yes, I can.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I need to tell you something. You know, so fast.
Yeah, I know him. A GS4.
His channel got terminated.
Oh
or what?
Lord.
Wait,
I'm
who?
serious, it got terminated.
For what reason?
I don't know. His channel just got terminated.
For no reason.
Yes.
Yes, but I'm glad.
Piss!
Oh, do you like my background? It's actually it's the Paramarket 1225.
Oh.
It's a Polar Express, but yeah, we get it.
Yeah, but it's actually the Paramarket.
Wait, guys. Wait, Alfred. Before we go, wait, Alfred.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah, but
Alfred.
before we go, Ricardo wants to say us something.
Wait, Alfred. I'm going to mark train fan. All right. I'm going to mark him.
Then mark him now.
Duh, I'm train fan. I'm a red Thomas ripoff with blue wheels, and I hate all of you. I like causing drama.
Bro, why does does this small fry does that?
No.
No.
That small fry does it a lot more worse. Like
Daniel X Diego. Diego.
he basically yells at the camera for no reason, and then for some reason he's just flipping us off for no reason.
Do you think? I don't know why you shouldn't end the stream. Like, I mean, you know, I just got in it.
Oh yes. But yes. But anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to comment, rate, and channel and subscribe. Make sure to subscribe
And
to
make
our
sure
channel.
that
And
small
remember,
fry and
yeah.
Be quiet, Alfred. Continue, Petey.
Yeah. And keep on streaming, my friends.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
The end. The end.
the end.
Now.